Dwight Howard is the best big man in the game.
Chucky Cheese.
Listen, you need to stop that. You need to,
listen,
you need to let this Superman hatred go.
Ain't got nothing to do with it. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Listen to me. Andrew Bynum is a true big man. Back you down, jump hook. Dwight Howard has one or two moves on the block. His one move is to run and jump hook, and the other move is to pick and roll, get it slammed.
Like I said before, you will get devoured. But don't you ever call me Dwight Howard.
Last man who called himself Superman still ain't got no rings.
There are a few things in life that are guaranteed. Death, taxes, and Shaquille O'Neal hating Dwight Howard. And SB Nation made a remarkable video on the history of these two individuals' beef, and if you want me to summarize the reason why they don't like each other, it's something ridiculously petty that is very Shaq-like to dislike Dwight Howard over. You see, Dwight Howard got drafted to Orlando like Shaq did, got traded to LA, well, Shaq signed with LA, and even adopted the Superman nickname like Shaq did. As a matter of fact, there was a point in Dwight Howard's career where he was the top NBA center in the league, just like Shaq, but the only difference between the two is the fact that Dwight Howard was actually able to win a NBA Finals game as a member of the Orlando Magic, and Shaq has had a significantly more decorated career. And I don't really think that's necessarily Dwight Howard's fault, because the landscape of the NBA shifted from traditional back-to-the-basket centers during Dwight Howard's career, and although I think Dwight could have done some stuff to manage his career a little bit better, like during his time in Houston, if he bought into being a pick-and-roll big man as opposed to forcing himself to be a post-up big man, I think he would have been a little bit more successful. But for the most part, I feel like if Shaq was in Dwight Howard's situation today, he may have had similar results. Now, we're not going to get into a debate about this, because what we want to discuss is it appears as though Shaq is once again taking shots at Dwight Howard. So what's going on, guys? Your boy Mike here. Before we get to the content, I'm just reminding you guys that we're giving away a PlayStation 5 on this channel. All you have to do is subscribe and turn on my notifications. We're doing additional giveaways on Instagram and Twitter. Links to that is in the description down below. And we're going to be live streaming on Twitch at the conclusion of this video on twitch.tv/TheFlightMike. We're going to be playing Among Us with subscribers. Finally, we just released merchandise on TheFlightMike.com. This is a remarkable way to get yourself a trophy piece of merchandise, because this is my first ever merch drop. And there isn't a better way to say you're a day one supporter of Mike Mafia than purchasing yourself the first edition of Mike Mafia merch. Now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Guys, the first part of this video, when I was reviewing this news, absolutely broke my heart, because I did cover this type of news before about a year ago when Dwight Howard signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. Shaq got back into it with him again, and it started with this one clip from Shaq at Papa John's when they asked Shaq how he felt about Dwight Howard being signed to the Lakers. And I can't show you the full clip because copyright purposes. I'll show you the beginning of the video and then cut to the audio. If you want to see the actual clip, I'll post it in my Instagram story.
Chill, hey.
So listen,
Yep.
Lakers just signed Dwight Howard. How do you feel about that?
Who?
Dwight Howard. You don't know?
Papa John's block party, brother.
You okay?
Feeding the kids for free, hanging out.
Feeding the kids for free.
Yeah, I'm not a basketball player.
So Shaq.
I'm a community guy.
But you can see he acted like he didn't know who Dwight Howard was. But this next part actually has a soft spot in my heart, because the last time I covered this was when Kobe Bryant was alive, and it had to do with this like little mini, I wouldn't even say beef, but it was the time where Kobe Bryant had an interview and they asked him about Shaquille O'Neal and how successful Shaq would have been if he had Kobe Bryant's work ethic.
Who would Shaq be if he had your work ethic?
He'd be the greatest of all time.
If Shaq had your work ethic,
He'd be the greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time by a mile.
Sure. He'd be the first to tell you that, for sure. I mean, this guy was a force like I have never seen. I mean, it was crazy. You know, a guy at that size, generally guys at that size are a little timid and they don't want to be tall. They don't want to be big. Man, this dude was He did not care. He was mean. He was nasty. He was competitive. He was vindictive. I mean, he was, yeah. I wish he was in the gym. I would have had fucking 12 rings.
Kobe Bryant said that they would have had 12 rings if Shaq had a better work ethic. And Shaq responded to Kobe on Instagram saying, "You would have had 12 if you passed the ball more, especially in the finals against the Pistons, #facts." And then Shaq also said, "You don't get statues by not working hard." Then they took to Twitter and Kobe said, "There is no beef with Shaq. I know most media want to see it, but it ain't gonna happen. Ain't nothing but love here, and we too old to beef anyway." Shaq responded to that tweet saying, "It's all good, bro. When I saw the interview, I thought you were talking about Dwight. Is that how you spell his name? LOL." And believe it or not, I covered this in the very beginning of my YouTube career last August, August of 2019, and I'll try to dig it up and leave a link to it in the end screen of this video if you guys want to take a look at it. But my point here is, Shaq has never turned down an opportunity to take a dig at Dwight Howard. And at first, as a Laker fan, I was on his side because, dude, come on. You know what I mean? Like, Dwight Howard betrayed the Lakers, betrayed Kobe Bryant, at least in my heart and in my mind. He left the Los Angeles Lakers after they traded Andrew Bynum to get him, and he left after one season to sign with the Houston Rockets. Laker fans hated Dwight Howard for quite some time, so before, we would get behind Shaq whenever he would bully Dwight Howard. But after this past season, when Dwight Howard returned with humility to the Los Angeles Lakers, accepted any role that was given to him, and bought into anything that was asked to him so he could win an NBA championship, and once we saw him cry on Instagram and become overwhelmed with emotion after finally winning a championship, after chasing one for 15 years, I can't help but personally be on his side. But unfortunately, Shaq took to the internet. I don't know what medium he used to take this dig at Dwight, but listen to what Shaq says in regards to Dwight Howard's championship.
Everybody out there, don't ever give up on your dreams. You can fucking do it. I swear, just keep fighting. I swear to God, don't ever give up on yourself, man.
You know what I don't like as a player, though?
What's that?
So a lot of players on their little Instagram bragging like they were the reason they got the championship. I ain't gonna say no names.
There was a lot of that going on.
I ain't gonna say no names.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Sit your ass down. You didn't do nothing. Stop it.
But I already know who you're talking about.
You know it too.
I know you know who I'm talking about. Stop it.
There
Front runner.
By the way,
bandwagon jumper. Stop it. Stop it. Don't be talking to me like you know players. Sit your ass down.
By the way, Lakers front office.
Post one pick and sit your ass down.
By the way, Lakers front office.
Follow your dreams, and I can't do this. Sit your ass down.
Stop it.
You ain't do nothing.
Seriously.
Oh, wait a minute now. He played a role.
Look, man, he didn't say Dwight Howard's name, but we all know who he's talking about. He even said, "You know who I'm talking about." So Shaq knew what he was doing here. Personally, I think it's getting a little old, at this point. I don't even see why Shaq goes out of his way to bully Dwight Howard, because in my eyes, I think Shaq has had a significantly better career than Dwight Howard. Shaq is better than Dwight in every statistical category almost. And at this point, Dwight just accepts that. It's not like he's coming after Shaq either. And I think Shaq is just coming off as a bully at this point. It's not even necessary. Like, they're not even in the same category when it comes to their career. Shaq has won 4 championships. Dwight has won 1 as a role player. So why would Shaq imply that Dwight Howard doesn't deserve this championship? Why would he say that he was a front runner? He did what he needs to do at this stage of his career to win a championship. He got his body in shape and did whatever the Lakers asked from him. I think even pushing this even further or discussing it any further is absolutely unnecessary and even a little bit ridiculous. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.